Hey everybody, Todd here, and welcome back to another Wellness Talks. Now, this video is a little different because I'm just going to tell you a little story that'll help you to figure out how to get the most out of this channel. As I've talked about in the intro video, I've put a lot of the tools and the concepts that I would utilize in session with folks right here online for you to actually utilize yourself, to pick and choose and to try to help with whatever it is you may be dealing with. So I'm going to start off then with this story, 3 blind men and an elephant. And how the story goes is that there are 3 blind men and they're at a circus or a carnival, and the ringleader says, hey, do you want to experience what an elephant's like? And the 3 blind men are like, oh, that sounds so fascinating, absolutely. And so they walk up and they get around the elephant, and the ringleader's like, so what do you think? And the 3 blind men are like, well, they put their hands on the elephant, and the first guy goes, oh, wow, this elephant, it's vast, it's huge, and it's rough, it has ridges, and he's just rubbing all over the side of the elephant. Then the second blind man goes, no, that's not right. It's actually, it's narrow and it's long, and it feels kind of like a snake, and it actually has ridges, and it's pliable. I can move it around, as he's holding on to the elephant's nose. And the third blind guy goes, I don't know what the 2 of you guys are talking about, because the way the elephant actually appears to me is it's pretty flat, and it's smooth on one side with a little bit of hair, so a little bit of fuzziness in here, and the outside is pretty vast, kind of like the first guy said, and it's kind of rough, kind of like the first guy said, and it's kind of thin, kind of like the second guy said, but it's really pliable, as he was holding on to the elephant's ear. And in a way, that's what it's like trying to learn and understand how the human mind works, how the human brain works. What's our basic physiology, and how does that affect us? How did we even get here? How do social constructs even work? What are cognitive biases? So if we pull back away, what I'm trying to do here on this video is to give you several different points that you can actually begin to, in your mind, see that full elephant. Now, if we take that, it takes at least, those are 3 data points. And I highly doubt that if the 3 of them would have gotten together and actually put those data points together, they still would have really conceptualized what an elephant looked like. You would need more than that. Of course, the more data points that we get, the more concise, the more clear the picture becomes. Just think of points on a computer: 600 dots, 1200 dots, 1800 dots, 3600 dots. Obviously, if you have a photo, the more dots, the clearer the picture is. That's how I'd like for you to think about this site. Every time that you are engaging with one of these videos that I have, and you move through it, and you use the ones that actually have the worksheets so you can take it a little bit farther, or you post something in the comments below, like you've taken the information, you try to integrate it in your mind, and you don't quite understand this, and you post, and I can give you that piece. That's just another hand on the elephant. And engaging with this then over time should start to give you, the viewer, a much better picture of how this human mind of yours actually works. And this is not to say that it's going to fit exactly everybody, because there are 3 kinds of truths when it comes to this. And one is that everybody is completely different than everybody else. So there's going to be completely different ways that we actually interact with people around us. And if you think about it, it's really kind of cool in that aspect that there are 7.5 billion people, 7.4, 7.3, 7.2 billion people on this planet, and every single one of us has a completely different perspective. We're all one of those blind men and women wandering around trying to touch reality and figure out, what is this? And get a clearer picture in our mind. And then everybody is somewhat like everyone else. There are certain things that, we may be of the same ethnicity, we may live in the same town, we may have a similar orientation, we may like a particular flavor, we may have a particular value, especially if we live in a region, a town, a city, a home. So in that aspect, they're like each other but not like everyone else. So they're kind of like, they're somewhat like, but not like everybody else. And then finally, and this is where I try to draw upon this a lot in a lot of the videos, is that everyone, in a lot of ways, is exactly like everyone else. And that's when it comes to how the mind works, how the physiological structures work, all three of these things show up at once. So it's something worth considering, is that the more points that I can get, including those 3 points I just gave you, stepping back and going, yes, I am unique. There'll never be another Todd. There hasn't been one in history. There won't be one again. And maybe that's a good thing. And maybe it isn't. But I also know that I'm very similar to a lot of others, but not necessarily everyone else. And then I also know that there are certain aspects of myself that it's exactly like everybody else. I get scared. I have to breathe. I have to sleep, so on and so forth. So we can play, this channel really dives into all these different angles, trying to help you to have more data points, more hands on the elephant, so that you can actually see the larger picture and to grow and to expand and to become more psychologically flexible. So play around. Check out the different videos, knowing that every single time you do so, you're just adding one more thing to your repertoire. You're adding one more data point, one more bit of knowledge, one more pixel in the picture to being able to build and move in the direction of a life that is meaningful and a life that you want to live. Until the next time, may you be well. Hey, Wellness Talk viewers. Hope you like what you saw here. If you did, be sure that you subscribe right here. And of course, you can also follow up either here or here for other videos. Again, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell in order to get notifications of new material.